to a nice painting video. I really hope you guys are doing really well and being safe and washing your hands like you should be and all that good stuff. I hope the best for your families and for you guys too, whoever's watching this video, honestly. Okay, so while we are waiting, I'm going to show you guys how to do a painting, and you will need the following. Not yet. A canvas, which I am using this square canvas that has like wood on the back and stuff like that. But honestly, if you don't have this, that's okay. You can literally just get some flat cardboard and paint it with white paint or something like that, and you can have that. You can use that, or like a box. If you have a box, and you can cut it up to like a square or a rectangle or whatever shape you want to use, and paint it white so that it's nice and slick and groovy, and use it. Next thing, paint brushes. Now I have a wide variety of paintbrushes, but honestly, whatever paintbrushes you have at home is fine to use if you want to follow along with this tutorial. Or maybe you just came here to see me. I'm just kidding. Next thing, paints. And I have different paints. And this big old box of paints that I have collected over the years. But basically, the main colors that you are gonna need really depends on the picture that you want to use. Now, we are gonna be using this picture. I'm gonna edit it soon so you guys can see it. Or if you want to, you could take a picture from outside your window or somewhere, and for my picture I use the Snapchat filter. If you want to use the Snapchat filter, go ahead. Next thing, again, this is like the fourth thing you need. Some sort of towel so that you can clean off your brushes. And this one I've used a lot for just painting. You could also use paper towels, but you're probably gonna need like 3 or 5 of them. So that's why I have this little rag here. I don't use it to wash my face or to clean dishes or anything like that. I just use this for paints. And if you are going to use a rag, then that is going to be just your rag. That rag is going to be just for paints from now on. It is not going to be used to, I don't know, brush your teeth or something. But still, on a serious note, the same with the next thing, a cup that has your water in it. Make sure you want to use a cup. You want to use a cup that you are not going to use anymore. You don't want to drink out of it or put your teeth in it. I don't know. People. Trying to hide the evidence now. Anyways, if you don't want to use a glass cup, then you can just use a disposable one or something plastic that can hold water that you don't want to use again. The reason that you don't want to use these for your face or mouth or whatever after using paint on it is because paint has chemicals, and if I were to use this on paint and then use it for my face, it would probably burn my face. Same with the drinking out of a cup that has paint all over the rim and stuff like that. You could get really sick by just drinking from a cup like this. And trust me, I've heard online that painters have accidentally drank out of their painting cup. So don't do it. And finally, you're going to need a paper plate. And why a paper plate, you might ask? It is the best thing to use when you want to put paint on it and mix in the colors. I have these paper plates, but I also have plastic ones. If you don't want to use plates that you can throw away, you could always use an old yogurt lid or something flat that you can throw away. You can also use a piece of cardboard from the box that you cut out to make your canvas. we need unless I forgot something. No, I think I got everything. We are going to start painting. So now that we have everything that we need to make this painting, we are going to start. So whenever you start with an acrylic painting, you need to start with the background first. So the background has light blue and white. I have two different blues here. And I have, and I'm just going to put them all on my canvas. And when you really want your colors to be light, like how it is in the picture, then you're going to, a little just goes a long way, if that makes any sense. So, we are going to start about half. We're going to start more than halfway down here. So all of this area is going to be the sky, and then all of this down is going to be the ocean. So I'm going to mix in some colors together and make it into that nice sky blue color. Can you see? That's a sky blue color. And I'm using this big brush because it is kind of easier to get the whole area in there. So we're going to start from the corner, and instead of going up and down, we're going to go side to side like this. And it's okay if it's not just one color. It actually looks really nice when there's some of this light blue here, and then there's some of this dark blue here too. It looks really nice when that is going on, because it doesn't look just like one flat color, you know. If you look at the normal sky, it has many different types of shades of blue in there, you know, depending on the time of day. When I took this picture, it was like evening, the sun was setting, and it was really pretty. And it's okay if you don't get the whole spots, because we're gonna add clouds anyway. And here is a trick that I've learned in high school, which is if you have water with you and your paintbrush is starting to go out on you, you could always get a little bit of water and continue on, just really lightly. The water helps to take paint off of your brush and more onto your canvas. And if bubbles show up and it's obviously leaking down of your canvas, that's okay too. Just brush it all in and you'll have a nice sky. Something that my art teacher told me when I was in high school, she told me to just let my painting be a painting. It doesn't have to be solid colors or anything like that, which is why I'm using two different blues. Just let your painting be a painting, basically. So now that we're down here, we are going to start making the water. And the water is going to be darker than the sky. So I have this darker blue that I'm going to add to my palette. I said that I use whites all the time, and this is why, because sometimes I use too much of a dark color, and then I would have to make it lighter by putting white in it. So here's when things get a little bit tricky. We are still going to go inwards into our canvas. Instead of going all the way across, you're just going to leave a little part of whichever side you want. In this case, I'm going to do it right here, because that's kind of what it shows in the picture. So, you're going to take your brush, load it with paint, you're going to start from the corner, and you're going to go inwards like this. Don't go back and forth, just go in one straight line like this. You can start filling in the middle part, so get your rag and kind of wipe it up a little bit. Not too much, because you still want to be able to use the paint up on there. And you're going to lightly go in the middle. Enough so that you can still see the white, but also see the blue. Alright, so now we have our beautiful little sky with a nice sea. Just like in the picture, it has some clouds on it, so we are going to start adding the clouds on because that is a part of the background, and that is where our little friendly sponge tool comes into play. If you don't have a sponge tool, you can use what's called a fan brush, which is a brush that looks like a fan, basically. So you're gonna load it up with some white and start making little circles like so. Remember the shape of a cloud. It has the bottom of a cloud is kind of flat, so you're gonna kind of want it to be flat, but also look fluffy. Now that we got that, we're gonna have a little bit of this light blue along with some white again, and we're gonna go back into the clouds to give them some dimension. Because clouds do have some sort of shadow in them. And if you're having trouble with a fan, I'll show you how to do the sponge. So you're gonna take your sponge and you're gonna load it up with the paint. I recommend using a round sponge, but I don't know where my round sponge is, so I'm using this one. But remember what I said before, if you don't have a sponge tool like this, you could just use this kitchen sponge and, you know, cut it up into like a circle to make it nice and round. What?
You got a big old stain on your face.
I do? Oh. For how long have I had that?
Well, you just got it.
Okay. So, now that that's out of the way, basically you're gonna load up your brush with white paint or the blue and white combo paint, and you're going to sponge on a cloud. Now this doesn't really work because my sponge tool is kind of not round in a circle, but I'll make it work. I'm just sponging it on, making some like making the cloud look kind of three-dimensional in a way. And it also gives some texture. If you look closely, you can see some bubbles in there. But other than that, just have fun with it, you know? Painting is all about having fun and exploring your realms and all that good stuff. So now that all of this is done, we are going to move on to the foreground. Okay, so I decided to fix up my ocean because the horizon line, which is the line in between the sky and the water, was a little too low. So I decided to raise it up, and from doing so, I kind of messed up this part that's right here. So if you are having that trouble, here's basically how to fix it. So I have a wet brush that has white on it, and I'm going to kind of just dab a little bit on there along the slide like that. And while it's still wet, I'm taking a dry brush, which I already used obviously because it has paint on it, and I'm going to go from the middle and then go outwards like that. So now that your canvas is basically dry, mine is pretty dry, we are going to start with the foreground again. So I have here my original colors of the sky and the sea, purple, and then a little bit of black right here. So I'm going to take some of this blue, put it to the side, take some of this purple, again put it to the side, and some of this black, and mix it all together to get kind of like a dark violet color. I'm gonna start with the tree because the tree is really nice. So you're gonna put the tree anywhere you kind of want to. I have this little brush for it, and not going down like this, but going down on the side like this, so you get that nice straight line. And we're gonna go all the way down like so. This paint is a little thin, so you might want to do a few layers of the color. So trees have branches, so we're going to give our tree a few branches while we wait for it to dry. So now we're going to do the landscape. So I'm going to start from the bottom here. I'm actually going to use a different brush instead of this little one. I'm going to use big fella square here. And I'm going to load it up and go along the side, going from one side to the other. You can actually go back and forth with this one. And I'm going to then dab some accents on it so that it looks like little plants and grass. With that same dabbing technique, we are going to make leaves onto the tree with the same brush, same color. My tree is actually a little bit darker than my leaves, so I'm going to see if I can fix that. Just making some more leaves so that the tree looks more like roundish. And I know this doesn't look exactly like the picture, but that's okay. It's all about where you want the things to go. The picture was just inspiration for us. And now, because you can't see the trunk, we are going to go into it. You can either use a small brush, or I'm going to try something new. I'm going to try using this painting knife. Because whenever I paint, I like to see if things work out. Have some on the knife, and then you're going to just make a little accent marks. And now, I'm going to add a person here. So I'm going to be using this small brush to make a person. I'm going to load it up with the same color as the tree and the ground. And I'm going to start with a circle. And then I'm going to just slowly make a stick person with legs there in the far distance. And then I'm going to give them shoulders right here. Before we finish up this painting is I'm going to add some little flowers into the tree. Hopefully that doesn't look too bad. So I'm going to start off with this purple here. Again, you don't have to do this, and then you are just going to lightly dab it on. And here we have it. A nice, beautiful painting of the sea and the tree and a guy. Again, this could all be modified if you want to. It doesn't have to look exactly like mine. It could be, you know, you have 3 trees instead of just one, or you have 5 people instead of just one, or maybe the ground is elevated a little bit more so that it looks like a small hill. Whatever floats your boat, honestly. You could actually put a boat inside the water if you really want to. You would just have to use the same color as the tree and the ground and just